Hello and welcome to my channel, Home with Sarah Jane. In today's video, I am sharing how my family and I are going to be completing an entire no spend month and pantry challenge for the month of February. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Sarah and I'm a homeschooling mom to two girls, ages 11 and 15. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by once again. I do really appreciate you. So, we just got done completing a 30-day challenge in my home, and I have to say we this time because my husband did help me out a lot in that 30-day challenge in January on days that I was just not able to tackle a challenge like I thought I was going to. So I have to say we for that challenge, but now my entire family and I are going to be doing a no spend February, and I'm actually really looking forward to this, which is something new for me because I usually do not look forward to no spend months. It's something that I do in order to reset our finances after the holidays. I take a little bit of time throughout January and I start to calculate, how many times we went out to eat in the month of December and January, how many times I went and got fancy coffee, and all of those things add up. And every year I am extremely surprised at how much I kind of wasted my money on. And I tend to get just a tiny bit stuck in that habit of spending just to make my life a little bit easier. I wanted to talk about the no spend month that I'm going to be doing in February, and something that's a little bit different for us this year is that we are also going to be trying to complete some savings challenges as well to get a little bit of money saved away, and my kids are participating in that as well. So now when it came to how much I spent in the month of December on going out to eat and fancy coffees and drinks and things not drinks, but coffees or smoothies or something. I spent $424.79 in the month of December. This is just, like I said, going out to eat or on fancy smoothies or coffees. But I'm looking at this as all stuff I could have made myself or I could have done myself. So that's how I'm kind of calculating this. Okay, sorry about that. My dog started barking at somebody on my porch. Okay. So for December, I was saying I spent $424.79, but then in January, I did even worse. I spent $536.88. So when I realized that I wasn't getting any better after the holiday season, I decided, yes, I definitely need to go into a no spend. And we are currently on day 2 of our no spend month, and it is going really, really well. But again, we're only on day 2. I wasn't going to film this video because I'd already filmed one for last year, but then I thought I am making a few changes this year, so I might as well make a video and share about it anyway. When I talk about going into a no spend month, sometimes I like to talk about how I prepped for that. And the way that I prepped for that this year is the way I always prep for a no spend. I always do some kind of cleaning challenge before my no spend month because it just makes it easier for me to know exactly what I have on hand, things that, are broken in my house or I'm getting rid of. I'm getting kind of like a fresh start when it comes to cleaning and organizing. And then I jump into a no spend. So that makes it really easy for me to do that. And since I just did a cleaning challenge in January, February again is that perfect month for a no spend. So I made, if you know me, I have my list. I made a little list of things that I wanted to focus on during this no spend month. And one of them is obviously not spending any money on any kind of luxury items or going out to eat. I don't even want to spend any money on food because this is also going to be a pantry challenge. So I do have enough food in my pantry and stockpile to hopefully get us through the month of February. Now, I do want to say that I have a lot less meat on hand than I thought that I had. I went and I checked my outside freezer and there was not as much in there as I thought. So I'm hoping I could stretch it all out to the end of February. I'm crossing my fingers on that. But everything else, I have enough in my pantry and all of that to hold us over for the entire month of February, even though it is 29 days this year instead of 28. I know I could do that. Now, another thing that I'm going to try and focus on during this no spend month is spending my time accomplishing things that I normally don't have time doing. And I've noticed over the last few years that I've done no spend months that a lot of my time is being wasted running to and from the store. Or even if you're shopping online, you're spending time staring at your phone or your computer or whatever, and you're spending time doing that. So for me, I just kind of want like a refresh on like remanaging how I utilize my time, and also making sure I'm going through all of those pantry items that I have, on hand that I don't want to expire, if that makes sense. I don't want to waste food. So those are the things I'm going to really be focusing on. Okay, so now let's talk about the rules of our no spend month. Now, I am a homeschooling mom and I spend a lot of money on books and resources and things like that. But with that said, that also means I have a lot on hand that I can use and I could utilize during this no spend month. There are some items in my library, in my home library, that I had the best intentions when I purchased them. I thought I was going to be able to get to them and I never did. So there are items in there that we didn't even use yet. So that's what I'm going to kind of focus on. I'm going to focus on items that I haven't used, or even items that I used like, I don't know, 10 years ago when I first started homeschooling, that I could actually use during the no spend. So I'm not going to be spending any money on any kind of books, resources, supplies, nothing for our homeschool for the entire month of February. So that is the first rule. Now, the other rule that I made for myself is for our am I a pirate? Is for our actual budget for fresh produce and dairy. Now, I did say that this is a pantry challenge, but I still need to have fresh produce and fresh dairy in our house. So every week I'm setting aside $50 that I could spend on fresh produce and dairy. Now, that is the exact same budget that I set for myself last year, and it worked out really, really well. So I'm crossing my fingers that things go well again this year, but I do want to say that we do have a backyard garden that I do get some produce out of, so that will help out a little bit. But again, because we're in the middle of winter, it's not that much that's coming out of there. It'll only be for like a couple of side dishes maybe here and there that I'll have some fresh produce. I do get a lot of citrus out of my garden though as well. We have a grapefruit tree and we have a lemon tree back there, so I don't have to pay for citrus, but I'm only going to be setting and allowing myself to spend $50 a week on fresh produce and dairy, and I am not allowed to buy anything other than produce or dairy with that budget. So that's another one of the rules. Now, I think that was pretty much the rules that I had. Oh, another thing that I wanted to mention is that when I do my no spend month, I also focus on looking through all of my bills and subscriptions. So I went through my bills at the end of January and I wrote every single one of them down and how much I pay for them every single month or, yearly, wrote it all down. And I was actually pretty surprised at how many subscriptions we had. I just completely lost track of everything that was going on over the last year because, sometimes you'll sign up for like a free 7-day trial and forget to cancel it. And that's how they get you, guys. That's how they get you. But so far I found 2 things that I could already cancel. And again, we're only on day 2, February 2nd of this no spend month. And I already cut out 2 expenses for going forward. And I'm going to be focusing on trying to lower my bills as well. I just feel like this is the perfect time when you do a pantry challenge, when you do a no spend month, to really focus on lowering everything so that when you're out of that no spend month, you're already starting off kind of like ahead. You know what I mean? Like you've already perfected and improved parts of, your life. Because like for me, it's that 30-day cleaning challenge. So my house is back in order and then I go into a no spend. So now my finances are looking better. It just makes me feel really, really good overall after I complete these 2 challenges back to back. And it really kind of keeps me on track for a while. What gets me every year is the holiday season. And I'm sure that is, nothing new for other people as well. But I really want to be more mindful about how we spend our money, and I am really trying hard to stay on track. So that's what I'm going to be doing for our no spend month. Let me just make sure I didn't miss out on anything. Of course, we're still going to be buying like dog food and food for our pets because we also have a bearded dragon. But most of his food comes from our garden. He eats a lot of the fresh produce from there. But it's the dog food. I have a Great Pyrenees. He's, just over 100 pounds, and he does eat a lot. So I don't think there's a way for me to really lower that bill, especially because he has dietary restrictions. He has a few allergies, and he's pretty sensitive to changing up his food. So I don't think I'm going to be able to create any wiggle room financially for dog food, but that's okay. Maybe I'll focus on giving him more, fresh meats and things like that, and eating alongside us a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. Another thing that I wanted to mention before I show you the savings plans is that during this no spend pantry challenge, I like to set another little challenge for myself, and that is learning new recipes from scratch, teaching myself a new skill or hobby during this month, because I tend to have a little bit more time because I'm not running around and, at all the stores shopping and window shopping and all of that. I stay out of the stores for pretty much the entire month, frees up a lot of time for me. So I want to focus on 4 new recipes during this pantry challenge no spend month, 1 a week at least. If I do more, that's great, but 4 is my goal. And this year, I don't really know what I want to do. I was thinking about maybe like homemade Pop-Tarts, or just snacks or crackers or chips or something like that my kids really enjoy, that I can make from scratch, that would be a healthier choice and cut back expenses, but I haven't quite figured out what I want to do. I did just recently make cake pops yesterday. Actually, I just made cake pops yesterday, and they came out really, really well. I never made a successful cake pop in my life until yesterday, so I was really excited about this, but I don't know if I'm going to count this towards my challenge. We'll see. Maybe I will. I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to getting in the kitchen and experimenting and trying new things and making new recipes from scratch, so that going forward, I have a new skill under my belt as well. Last year, I kind of perfected a French bread recipe that we use constantly. We love it. It is probably going to be the most made bread recipe in my house during the month of February. So, I'm just really excited. I'm really looking forward to this challenge because it worked out so well last year, and I'm really looking forward to what it's going to do for my home and my family this year. But now, let's talk about the savings challenges that I want to implement. And this isn't just for the month of February, but I thought it would be a good time to start, since we're focusing on not spending any money, to save money. Now, I made a couple of these like little money envelopes on Canva that we're going to be using with our girls. Now, I did sit them down and ask, what they felt would be a realistic amount of money to save in, a certain time frame or certain goals. And my youngest daughter actually chose the $1 savings challenge. So all I did was I printed this envelope on, or I made it on Canva, and there's just 50 circles that have a $1 bill in it. So once she colors in all of these circles and puts her bills in, she will have $50. So you can see she's already started. Every time she gets a $1 bill, she puts it in this envelope. So that's the goal here. So if she gets a $5 bill, she doesn't have to worry about it. But if she gets a $1 bill, she puts it in this envelope. And again, after she colors in the 50 circles, she knows she has $50 in here, and she saved $50. Now, we're not putting a time limit on this one for her. It's just going to be every time she gets $1, she puts $1 in here and colors the little circle. But I was really excited that this is the one that she picked, because I thought it was very realistic for Lydia. And Lydia is not the type of kid that likes time frames in any way. She doesn't like to have timed tests in homeschool. She doesn't like to have timed reading. She doesn't like anything timed, okay? So this is perfect for her. Now, for Bella, she actually picked something a little bit different. I will put a picture up here, and this I did not create. I found this on Pinterest for free, so I will link this below. But my daughter, Bella, my 15-year-old, she chose this penny challenge, this 365-day penny challenge. Now, I thought that this was perfect for her as well, because it does get her to save a little bit more money without having to save a ton of money each day. So pretty much this one works like you just put a penny in on the first day, and then on the second day, you put in 2 pennies, and on the third day you put in 3 pennies, and then you just do that for an entire year. Each day just, adding 1 more penny. She's already started this, and so far she's really liking it. It's going really well. But at the end of this one, she will have over $600 that she had saved. But this one, again, this one is 365 days. So this is in the course of a year. So hers does have a time frame on it, but this is very manageable for her. And I think that showing what a penny could do is really, really helpful, especially to kids, because sometimes we'll look at things and, oh, it's just a penny, it's just $1. But if you save it, it turns into more than that. So I think that this is a really good lesson for my kids. So good of a lesson that I decided to implement something like this for my husband and myself as well during the month of February. So for us, I have, again, I made these on Canva. I will link these below for you if you're interested. But for my husband and myself, we decided on the $5 challenge. So this is just like Lydia's challenge, only we're going to use $5 bills instead of $1 bills. Now, I did this for two reasons. One is it's a small enough amount to where it won't make a huge difference if I put it aside. You know, another reason why I chose this is because I look at a $5 bill as just being a $5 bill. Oh, it's just, you know, one coffee or, you know, it's only $5. I want to kind of switch that in my mind and make me think, look what I did with just $5, if that makes sense, you know? So that is what I'm going to be focusing on for my husband and myself. And again, there's no time frame on this one. It's just once I fill in all of the circles on this, I'll have $250 in $5 bills. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I have a feeling after our no spend, this will add up really quickly. And you could do it more than once. You know, you could just keep on printing the envelopes and just keep on saving $5 bills. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Now, this is the one that does have a time frame on it for my husband and myself. And this is our 52-week challenge. So each week I pick one of the denominations on this envelope to put in here. And at the end of the year, I'll have $1,100. I needed to start off small, and a lot of money challenges that I have found were just unrealistic at a certain point for me to be able to put that amount of money aside. So I wanted to be able to choose smaller increments, smaller denominations, you know, to put in here, smaller amounts. Because, I mean, I'll be honest, the winter season, for us anyway, we don't always get the same amount of money. Let me just put it that way. I'm not going to go huge into our finances, but my husband is a foreman at a solar company, and the winter time is a slower time for him, so his paychecks are usually smaller. So I need something realistic for the winter and then his really busy summer months. So this, I think, is perfect. And if you look, I mean, I could save as little as $5 a week, or I could save up to $100 a week. And as you can see, I only have two 100s here because I was trying to be realistic. So I think that this is a really, really good, safe, realistic goal for my husband and myself. And I'm really looking forward, I'm really looking forward to, you know, after the 52 weeks and actually have completed this, because it has been really hard to put money aside when your money is, you know, it's going like this during the winter months. So I'm really looking forward to this. And as you can see, we already started. I actually kind of like backtracked so that it looks like we started at the beginning of January. And I was able to do that just by pulling a couple of bills out of my wallet and doing it that way, so that in February I could start off fresh and just move forward. So that's why you already see some of those colored in. But that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, is the no spend and our savings goals. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. Let me know if you're doing any of these types of pantry challenge, savings challenge, anything like that. I'd love to hear it. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. You have a great day. Bye.